Once we have our design done and set up for laser engraving, it is time to send this over to the laser engraving software and get all of our settings right so that I can take your file and engrave it at the school. So you are going to start with a file print. We're basically going to go through this like we are sending this to a printer. So file print, and you are going to select from your destination the PLS 4.75 printer. And now that we've got that selected, we have a couple things we need to check here. The first one is we need to come down and check the scale. We want to make sure this is scaled at 100%, which is 1 to 1, because we've already scaled it in our drawing. And you can notice that now this is off the screen a little bit. So after we have done our scaling, we are going to come to this button that says set. So we're going to click on set and come out and zoom out with our mouse wheel. And this grayed out area here is going to represent the laser bed. So it's the bed of the laser engraver that we would put our object in to engrave. So our laser is 24 inches wide by 18 inches deep. If I grab this center box, I can move this, and we generally engrave in the upper left hand corner. This is kind of our 0, corner of the laser engraver. So I'm going to put my design right up there in that corner. I'm going to hit enter. It's going to bring me back here, and now I'm going to print this, and this will print this over to this software here. So we're going to select this icon, and here is our design. So now we have this in our laser engraving software. We need to set up a few settings before we can engrave this. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to hit settings, and I'm going to come to the material database. In this material database, I'm going to select the natural tab, and under natural I'm going to select wood. So we have a few different woods that we can select on here. We're going to go under medium wood, and we're going to select birch, because we are using birch plywood for the most part. We're going to come down here and enter the thickness of our material. We're using 3/4 inch plywood, so I'm going to enter the decimal equivalent of 3/4 of an inch, and I'm going to hit apply. And this is saying this is too thick to cut through. We cannot cut through 3/4 inch, but that's okay because we're not trying to cut through. So I'm going to hit yes. And now I have put in some general settings for this. Now we're going to come over to the manual control and do just a little bit of adjustment. So we're adjusting black colors for our rastering and blue colors for our vector engraving. So I'm going to click on black first, and the first thing I notice is that my Z-axis is not on. So I'm going to select on and hit set. I always have to hit set, otherwise it forgets what I've done. The power is how intense the laser is. The speed is how fast the laser will move over your material. The slower it goes, the deeper it's going to engrave. And the faster it goes, the shallower it will engrave. Pulses per inch is PPI, that's how many times the laser flashes, and we're going to leave that alone. And then the Z-axis allows the laser to focus. It moves the bed of the laser up and down to allow it to focus. So I'm going to change my speed. I'm going to bump it up a little bit to about 70% for my rastering and hit set. And then for blue, I'm going to bump my power all the way up. And I'm going to bump my speed all the way up, and this will just make this faster so that we can do these quicker. And I'm going to go again to about 75% on the speed. And I'm going to hit set. And at that point, I am ready to engrave. So if I was in the lab, I would wait till this arrow turns green. Once that arrow turns green, I would hit that arrow and off the laser would go. Because we are not in the lab, we are going to set this up to be saved as a file. So we're going to come here to this folder, click on that. We're going to select export, and we're going to do a printjob.emf. So I want to put my name on this, And then I am going to name this Final Push Stick Ready to Engrave. And I'm going to save that. You are going to save this and put it in your Teams folder so that I can then actually engrave it. And once you've got that saved, put that folder in your Teams folder. Send me a Microsoft Teams chat that lets me know that you've saved it. And you have completed your push stick project.